We are back on Create with Kate, and I am so excited for this guest we have today. It was kind of random how it all happened, but very meant to be. The universe works in amazing ways, as always. So I have Bart Miller with me today. He is incredible. He styles Russell Brunson for all of his events, and he also has I Do Epic, which is his company that helps many entrepreneurs, couples that are online marketers. And it's really a transformational journey on yourself. And then, of course, building your business and many, many other things. Like, he really does it all. So welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Kate. It's so awesome to be here. And I just want you to know your energy is off the charts. It's
Thank
so
you.
fun to be with you. And I'm just so excited to do this podcast.
I'm so excited that you're here too. And I agree with you on the energy. Like, it's electric in here.
Don't we get to do the
crazy.
funnest things ever? Like,
No,
who gets to do
I live
branding
the
and get to
best
talk like
life.
this, right?
Like,
We both
it's
do.
so good.
It's so awesome.
Okay. I want to talk about the styling.
Okay.
So tell me though, because that's not all you do, but
No.
I want to talk about that first.
Sure.
So tell me what you would call yourself, I guess, in that role, and then what you do for people.
That's a great question. So what I come to find in my life is people started calling me a Renaissance man all the time. I was like, oh my gosh, well, it's easy to step into new personas for me.
Ooh,
And so
okay.
I've done different things with that. So as I started to learn that in life, we are who we are, but if we have a different persona, I can escape some of that.
Ooh,
And so what's awesome about that is that if I know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, it's irrelevant. Peter Parker can still live his life at home.
Yeah.
But when he needs to be the superhero, he puts on a different cape,
Right.
steps into that power, and goes saves the world.
Okay.
So many of us in life think we only can be us.
This is good. Or even with branding, right? With personal
Exactly,
branding.
with branding. That's what should be looked at.
Or because people struggle with, oh, well, this is my niche and I
Right.
can only be this.
That's right.
But why?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my question. It's been my question my whole life.
Right. Why do you
So,
have to only be one thing?
Totally.
Yeah.
And if you look at Halloween, that's what I love about Halloween.
I love Halloween
Right?
too.
So think about this. You'll see grown men that are just so masculine, so everything. And then all of a sudden they put a set of high heels and a dress on and you're like, where did you come from?
Yeah.
So funny. But they're empowered for that one,
Yes.
let's be clear. They're not trying to be women, but they get to go have fun and just relax.
Yes.
And it allows them to be laughed at. But if they were their real self, they'd beat somebody up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They'd be like, you're laughing at me for what? Don't you? You know what I mean? Like we take things so personal.
Right.
I don't know if I can cuss on this podcast.
You can.
I can, okay, because I don't want to make a mistake.
No, absolutely.
So, but I mean, it's like we get so caught up in us. And so everybody has a healing journey. And I had to find that out myself, right? Like there's a lot of crap that's happened in my life that is like, golly, it can really get me stuck. And it can get me stuck in wealth mindset. It can get me stuck in all sorts of things. So I learned if I can create a new persona and I can step into that persona doesn't take on all of that same beliefs.
Right.
So if you take, for example, Marilyn Monroe, what's her real name? Norma Jean. Norma Jean, if she could have done everything the way she needed to, she'd never had to create Marilyn Monroe. Why did Kobe Bryant create the Mamba? Why did Sasha Fierce, Beyonce, Bo Jackson, on and on and on. I can tell you all the elites have learned how to create new personas because you want to escape who you are, not in a bad way, because you still got to heal. Let's be clear. And I'm all about the healing journey. If you look at Sasha Fierce, for example, Beyonce just killed her off this year because I feel like they've healed and they've come as one now.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So this isn't about like not doing the work. And I know it's kind of off topic with style, so I apologize, but it's all about letting you escape it, create this new person, do whatever you need to get them into that character. Yeah. And then become the Batman, become the Spider-Man that you desire to be.
Right.
And then when you don't need that outfit, put it aside, go back and let's put you into to the dad or the mom or whatever else you want to be. Right. Sure. So that's how style came about for me. Was I had to learn that and a lot of things, but I am called the $1 billion cowboy for a reason because I do rodeo. I rope, I ride horses. If you come to my house or you come to my event, you're going to see me as a different persona, full on cowboy.
This is what's so fascinating, because as I was, researching you, I'm like, who is he?
Right.
Yeah. But it was like kind of fun because that is, again, what I love about this is because this is what I'm a coach for personal branding, right?
Awesome.
And the struggle over and over. You know what my most common question is? Should I have a business page and a personal page?
Right.
And they cannot, they get so stuck. And that's just one thing, right?
Right.
But like they get so stuck in that. And then it's, because we encourage, hey, build your personal brand. Because look, then you can sell
Leverage
anything
it.
And people will buy it because they love you.
Agreed.
So if you're a cowboy today and you're a stylist tomorrow, it's fine because, everyone loves and trusts, you.
Yep.
So, but people really get stuck in that.
They do.
And I think it's crazy. Like, why can't you just be, we're not just one thing.
Right.
We just aren't. So when it comes to the clothing that we wear, that I want to know about as far as like the psychology behind that.
Good.
And how did you even get into that?
Yeah. So great question. So I own the largest online makeup school. It's a private label for every Paul Mitchell school nationwide.
Oh, wait. So now we're talking makeup.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
Right.
Okay.
Awesome, huh? So in doing that, before I kind of step back, but the story would take a while, but I got into fashion back in high school. There was an amazing girl that I was dating, and her mother wanted me to meet some of their family. And to be very nicely, I wasn't dressed or didn't even understand style at the level I needed to meet them. Oh. And I'll just say it that way. And it wasn't to be degrading. No, it was very kind, but in a way, yes. Because I come from a very poor family. Okay. And she comes from a very, very wealthy family. Oh, interesting. And it wasn't anything to belittle me. Like I want you to, it was never, ever that way. But they're like,
it was a moment in your life
you're going to meet grandma and grandpa and everything. And, it'd be awesome if you had some really cool stuff. And I was like, okay, let's do this. So first experience was we went into a Nordstrom. And back in that day, that's when everybody was commissioned. It was a whole different ecosystem than it is today. We walk in there and I was like, what is going on?
Where was this? What city?
Actually in Utah.
In Utah, okay.
So I was like, what are these people doing? Like,
so you had never been to Nordstrom?
Ever. Okay. Like, I don't know if you know, there's a little shop called Cal Ranch. And if you guys want to Google it, like Cal Ranch was like the Western store that we shopped for school at. And I only wore at that point in time Wranglers and a nice shirt.
Yeah, you grew up. Like you came out of the womb a cowboy.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah. So that was the whole dream, was either become a professional cowboy or Michael Jordan. That was my two options in life.
Well, Michael Jordan probably was in the cards, right?
See how you are? Already judging me. No, just kidding. I kind of figured that out, right? Yeah. As you grow up, though, it doesn't matter when you're younger. That's all you think about.
You can do anything.
So I wanted to be a calf roper. So if you know anything about calf roping,
I don't.
Size is a big deal because you have to. Yeah. So anyway, we won't go into there. Yeah. So I get there to Nordstrom's for the very first time, and it was like, holy macanoli, this is crazy. And all of a sudden I was in a dressing room putting on things that I was like, I had no idea. Like I was like, whoa, I don't even know how I'm going to look in this. Yeah. And it was a little uncomfortable, but really exciting for me for some reason.
It was fun.
It was so fun. Okay. And then I started looking at price tags and I was like, this ain't happening. Yeah. Like there's no way. I've never, ever even considered buying anything like that, right? Wow. It just wasn't in the cards for me. So we walk out and two big things happened that day for me. One was a financial and that I could do it shift and that it was even possible. Yep. Because we walked out of there, put all the clothes up there, and this amazing girlfriend's mom looked at me and said, okay, this is what we're going to get you. And I was like, I can't afford this. And I'll never forget the almost shame in my voice of, I'm sorry, I'm not enough, but this isn't possible. And she stopped me right there and she goes, don't ever feel like you can't afford this. Wow. You're amazing. We think the world of you. And this is our gift to you because we think the world of you. So don't worry about it. And I was like, you're willing to do that for me? Not only are that, but you're nice enough to see that you're saving me. And I saw that where a lot of people look back at the story and they're like, no, that was just, no, reality, they wanted me to look the best I could possibly look. Yeah. They saw more in me, and they understood that I was dating their daughter. Yeah. And it wasn't just because poor, pitiful Bart, they actually saw potential in me. Sure. Which was awesome. So anyway, they bought the clothing
And how old were you at this point? You were in high school.
So I've been a junior. Right? I've been a junior in high school.
So you're maybe 17.
Yeah, 17 years old. And so anyway, I walked out of there. I went home and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like it was big beyond Christmas for me, right? I never had anything like that. So I got home and those clothes created a new identity for me.
Wow.
And it was like I could escape because when I put those on, I looked so different. Nobody at home. So I don't know if you know, but I was raised in Rigby, so Idaho. I had moved to live with my mom for the very first time. So that's why I was in Utah.
Okay.
So I was in a totally different school, totally different ecosystem. It was all new. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so that was a big shift for me. So from there, I started to learn things because her mother would teach you about brands like Tiffany's. And she was like, why does Tiffany's exist and why are they iconic and all these kind of things. She was really good at understanding old money and old wealth because she came from that. Okay. And so different things she started to point out. She'd be like, when you see this or you see this, this is where it comes from. And I was like, it was so fun for me. It was just like this school of learning that I was just like, this is fascinating. And it really did excite me. So that's where it started. Then when I got into the makeup world, Robert is a phenomenal stylist and he's also a phenomenal makeup artist. And so he does the supermodels and Cindy Crawford and a bunch of different, he's an amazing makeup artist. And so we would go out and we were always looking at this and he was shopping and I was shopping. So it just kind of kept growing from there. Okay. And as I learned not having a lot of abundance, let's just say it that way, when I was younger, I learned that certain pieces, when you put with certain other pieces, instantly people would be like, the whole outfit is so expensive because of that. Interesting. So they just assume that everything is expensive because you had certain pieces. So I was like, this is amazing. Okay. So I can use any budget, right? Yes. And I can literally make people look amazing. So all my friends are like, help me do this. I'd be like, okay, so we're just going to buy this piece, this shirt. We're going to put it with this. And all of a sudden this will look like it's $1 million. Like,
I love that because I have this fascination with like making cheap clothes look expensive because I really believe that you can. It's about how you, your energy in the clothing
for sure.
And then how you piece it together.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a lot of fun with that. And that just kept growing into where people would be like, hey, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I'd be like, well, you understand if you dress this way, people are going to see you this way. Like, I don't care. Well, you need to care. Totally. Well, why do I need to care? Well, what you don't understand is it's not about you. You're going to get an energy because of this. Yes. If you're willing to take that on, go for it. But just understand it's not their fault. So don't blame them for that energy. So, this is the thing that most people want to fight against style. And it's like, but here's my rebuttal to it is this. If you take right now and a cop walked into here right now, he walked in that door and he said, get out. Yeah. You and I aren't going to go, you're not a real cop.
Right.
Show us your badge before we go anywhere. Call them. Come on. Give us all the information. Now, maybe we should.
Yeah, right.
But reality is we've been taught psychology-wise since this little what that uniform means. Right. So we've been taught that way with so many uniforms, including a teacher, a performer, a mom and dad. I mean, all these things have been taught to us of what they mean and what they look like. A banker, a doctor, a lawyer. I mean, think about all these things that you're thinking about. And if you can sit there for 5 seconds, you can imagine every one of them and what their style is.
100%.
Right? Yeah. So if you understand that and you know that psychology has already been built there, it's already to your advantage to step into that cape if you're in that ecosystem.
Right. I agree. So, okay, let's talk about this question. Okay. Because, I can remember being in high school. It was cool if you wore pajamas to school, right? Sure. And I remember thinking, what loser wears pajamas to school? Like, I'm not getting on this trend. Yeah. I wore stiletto heels every day. Awesome. And I was the weirdo. Okay. But I did my makeup. I got up early. I got ready. Like, I'm like, I want to look good, you know, because when I look good, I feel good. Amen. So, and then I can be my best as far as like with everything in my day, you know, with my relationships, with my schoolwork, all this stuff, right? For sure. And I remember thinking that at a very young age. But I got a lot of judgment and criticism for that because it was, I mean, at least at my school, it was like cool if you didn't care.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And, or like that's shallow. And to me, it was never about that. It was just about the way I felt. So how do you break that down?
So it's a great question. So there's a lot to that question.
Yeah.
Lots packed in there, right? Because even the person that's dressing, let's say in pajamas, they're getting some sort of judgment from somebody else.
Sure.
So
me, when I'm like, what loser wears pajamas?
Right? So it doesn't matter on both ends. That's the funny thing in life. We're always like, I'm so worried. You're going to get judged no matter what you do.
Totally.
I mean, so build a bridge and get over it. Like you got to be you. Like
exactly.
So what I would just say to that psychology is you did the right thing for you. And this is what I love about what you said is you felt empowered when you stepped into that.
Yeah.
Okay. If you would have felt power in stepping into the pajamas, it would have been the same thing. It'd been phenomenal for you. Because just like you said at the beginning of the podcast, which is very critical, people need to understand is your energy is the biggest part of the game.
Yep.
But I also will say this, a picture is worth a what?
1,000 words.
That's right.
Yeah.
What's the first thing somebody sees they put in their mind when they see you? Picture.
Right.
What you're dressed like. It's the first thing.
Yeah. So they're going to associate you with, so this is how I take that. If you're in pajamas, my association of you is that you are lazy.
Could be.
Or if you get ready every day, like this is another thing I think about is I want you to know that I value my appearance, not because of I'm vain. Right. No, I value my appearance because I want to put my best foot forward for every individual that I encounter. Yeah. You know, and I'm not like, and that's how I do everything, right? Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So that's how I look at it. But it's interesting because I just feel like so many people have this, and maybe it's the healing journey that they need to go through. But they almost want to position it as you're insecure. And that's why you have to do all of these things. And maybe sometimes that's true, right?
Sure.
But it's also, to me, just a respect, a value, an expression of your personality. Yeah. You know, like I enjoy expressing myself through clothing. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So, and why wouldn't you want to do that?
So it's a beautiful thing what you're talking about. And I think here's the thing that we all have to sit back and look at. A lot of the stuff that you're talking about is because of what beliefs have been installed in people.
Right. That's true.
It really is. And when I first heard, there was a Navy SEAL that spoke, and he was really, really adamant about you need to make your bed.
Oh, I remember this speech.
There's a speech that's actually out about it now.
I've seen this.
And I've really looked at that with my kids. And I think it's so critical because how you do one thing is how you do everything, is what you said, right? Yeah. So if we get up and we put our room together and we put ourselves together, there's a lot to be said for that motion.
Totally.
Okay. So I'm on 100% agreement with that. That being said, as a woman, and I mean this sincerely, women have been so beat up because if you come in here and you look knocked dead gorgeous, damn it, you shouldn't do that. Right. If you come in here and you look frumpy and dumpy, shouldn't do that. If you show cleavage, are you kidding me? You're such a slut. Right. Totally. Like it's like women can't win for losing. And I feel so horrible because it should never be that way. What we're trying to do, and like you said all the right things. Yeah. What you're doing is, I want to be proud of me. Yeah. And therefore I feel energetic. Therefore you're going to feel energetic. Right. And this is awesome. Let's kill it. Exactly. Right? Where a lot of people that can come off of is, so for example, for me, I'll walk into a room and people will be like, that arrogant, look at how he looks. I mean, he's like, they're Googling me, wanting to know who I am. Because it comes across very wealthy and very like, I own the room. Right. And I do that intentionally. And there's a reason behind that. And I'm happy to explain it. But it's not because I'm arrogant. It's not, I don't feel like I am anyways, but I don't get that vibe. I really love people, and and once they get to know me, they're always like, man. So I had to do something, but I'll tell you what it was. It wasn't the clothing. Okay. And I had to learn this the hard way. It was my energy. It was. Yeah. Okay. Because I walked in there.
Because I'm like, I didn't get that vibe from you.
I had to work really hard on it because my energy would come in and I'd be like, I don't really give a crap if you like me or don't like me. Like it was very much of, if you said hi to me, great. If you don't, I don't care. You know, and I don't know why it was that way, but I think there's a lot of things I've just worked through and I can go back to. But now today it's like, No, I just love to be empowered.
Yeah.
And I love you and my energy. Come give me a hug, like, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I really like that. But I've had to do a lot of work to get myself there. So I think there's a couple things combined. And I know that people are probably listening to this going, whoa, these guys are all over the board. But hopefully, we're on track.
Used to
are
it.
they? Okay.
Yeah. Because that's kind of so my podcast, the name is Create with Kate.
Okay.
And it's mainly personal branding, right?
Awesome.
But as you know, personal branding, I mean, it's like such a wide range, right? Because it's a person, it's
Amen.
your life.
Yeah.
It's I mean, there's so much to that.
So much.
So it does kind of go in multiple directions,
so good.
which I love.
Me too.
So, okay. So let's talk about, why don't we just talk about you styling Russell?
Okay.
And that process.
Sure.
And because Macy told me a little bit about it.
Okay.
And she was telling me about the days and how day 1 is this, day 2 is this, day
She's
3.
giving away all my secrets.
And well, a few of them, yeah.
That's awesome.
But explain that to me.
Okay.
And so that's why today I tried to be the rock star look.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what it means.
That's so good.
So maybe tell me that.
Love that you tried.
Yeah, I
Not
tried.
that you tried. You did great.
Yeah.
You look awesome. So let's walk through the psychology of this.
Okay.
So first and foremost, for me, everything is like, so let's say that, I'll just explain it. I always like to talk about stories, but if you went to a concert, and let's just use Taylor Swift because she's a Swiftie, right? She's a big one.
Right. Everybody
knows who she is. If she walked out and she was in like frumpy dumpy clothes, what would you think of her? Right?
I mean, we know what I think of frumpy dumpy.
Right.
I think lazy.
You'd be like, what the hell? Like, why didn't she dress up for the concert?
Right.
Right. So every performer, if you look at a performance, right, their first impression is everything.
Yeah.
And it's that iconic picture that you want in your mind.
Okay.
So,
I have to tell you what is happening right now for me because I was at Funnel Hacking Live in September.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you were a part of that, but I can vividly remember exactly what he was wearing day 1.
Good.
And it was a leather jacket.
Right.
And I remember
John Varvatos leather jacket.
looking at that. And this is so, I mean, it's so weird, but it's not weird. Of course, you're sitting here in front of me right now. And I was like, wow, I love this jacket. It's different than what I normally see of him.
Amen.
But I'm like, I love this jacket. I almost even thought he didn't pick that out. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And I can remember exactly what he looked like.
Yeah.
Day 1.
Isn't that awesome?
I don't know if I remember the other days, but I remember day 1.
You always will. And this
What
is why
the
the
heck?
psychology is that is what we want. We get there because that's the person we look up to. That is who we aspire to be. And I don't care if you're a boy or a girl.
I'm
That's
like
just
literally
what we
shook
do
right now because I can, like what you're saying, I'm like, yeah, you nailed it because it's stuck in my head.
100%.
Wow.
And that's the day you get the most of the pictures. So what happens is if you're going to an event, secret number 1 is you're going to take more pictures day 1 than you ever will the rest of the event because you're so excited to be there. You're so excited to see your friends.
Crazy. That's
and so
true.
when are the most pictures going to be taken of Russell? Day 1. Because when he walks out on stage, what is everybody going to do? Everybody's going to be there on time for the very first event.
Yes.
They may not be the rest of the event. So what's the most important picture going to be?
That day
that
1.
rock star outfit.
That first entrance.
All about that entrance.
That grand entrance.
That's right. And everybody's going to judge that grand entrance.
Wow. That's that.
Because that sets the tone.
I mean, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, wow.
Why haven't other people talked about this?
Yes.
Right?
And I just can't believe because I was at that event and I just remember having thoughts about that jacket.
Right.
Like when I was looking at
that jacket's stunning.
I'm like, wow, one piece of clothing.
Yep. And what's interesting is you picked out the jacket.
The jacket, yes.
Yeah. And so what's interesting, just so you can hear the evolution, it took me 4 years to get Russell in a jacket.
Yeah, because he doesn't usually wear those.
No.
Yeah.
He did not love jackets.
Huh.
But in his brand and what we were trying to do, we still had to dress him. So if you go back and you look at the evolution, jackets now are very prevalent because he's accepted that. But it took time. Like if you go look at the beginning of a Spider-Man, the outfit that he wore then, it's a Spider-Man outfit. And where it is today, a lot different.
This is
so let this evolve for you.
Yeah.
Because here's something I've learned in the makeup world. We will go and take what we call a real girl in our ecosystem, which is a real girl that's out in the world, not a model.
Yeah.
Right. We take her and we do her makeup and she'll walk out and everybody's like,
yeah,
oh my God,
wow,
stunning. You look so amazing. I'll see her in a month later and guess what? She's back in her old makeup. We love who we are. We love who we are.
Yeah.
And it's very uncomfortable when we have to step into a new persona.
That's true.
Yeah, because we might get laughed at. Somebody might look at us. We might not do this
if you
right.
told me to come in here without makeup and frumpy clothes, I'd have a hard time with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's a different you.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes we have to be in love with that different us.
Right.
Sometimes we don't. But what I'm trying to get at is if I put you in something that made you uncomfortable, you're not going to perform at your highest self.
No.
So there's two things I got to do. I got to get you used to it to where you're like, somebody just said my butt looked nice.
Yeah.
What? These, no, not in these jeans. And then all of a sudden it happens again. You're like, maybe it is the jeans.
Right.
Or maybe I just worked out a little bit more. You know? Then that goes a few more times. You're like, damn, it's the jeans.
Yeah.
I'm in. Like, Bart, buy me 5 more pair of those suckers, right? Where day one, it's like, are you kidding me? I mean, I look so bad in these, but it's just the way you've perceived yourself for so long, right?
Yes.
And I'm just using a crazy example.
So but at this point, then was he comfortable in the jacket?
Yeah. So 100%. So like right now on this trip, he's texting me. I don't know if you guys know, we're in Las Vegas. So he's like, hey, find me some more awesome jackets. So yesterday I took a few pictures and I'm looking for jackets because
I love the jacket.
Yeah, he's using different jackets for different things. Now we have a certain type of jacket. It's not just a bomber jacket. Yeah. Like we have a certain thing that we're after to keep on the brand and on point with what we're doing. So when I go through and do something, so to answer your question, Rockstar outfit is your number one outfit. Yeah. Just so I don't leave everybody hanging. Number one outfit, no matter if you're doing a webinar.
How do you define it?
Defining a Rockstar outfit is like you would see a costume for any celebrity that on brand, which means on brand, a Rockstar outfit that fits you. So if you take this outfit I have right now, this could be considered either a Rockstar outfit or a talking piece outfit.
Ooh, a talking piece.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. So the reason this is a talking piece outfit is because you're going to see who on the front? Mickey Mouse.
Oh, is that Mickey?
That's Mickey Mouse. Okay. If you look at my shoes, that's Mickey Mouse.
Did you love Disney?
So my daughter does.
Oh.
See, once again, what would that lead to? Instantly a question. So that's why if you are a Disney fan and you're out there and you see this, then you're going to start connecting with me. And you're going to start talking to me about what I want you to talk to me about.
Oh my gosh.
I'm leading the conversation
because of where I'm
100%.
It's all
because of what I'm wearing. Right?
Even the tattoos.
Exactly. And when those things create conversations, they're conversations I want to have. Then I can architect the conversation where I want it to go.
My mind is like so blown. I love this.
Awesome, right? Yeah. That's what a brand's supposed to do.
Yes.
A brand is created to what? Lead a conversation.
Yes. This is so good.
That's what it's all about. So once we understand that in our clothing, we can do it through clothing too.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And so then this right now, if you look at the way I'm dressed, I'm dressed up. If I were to instantly, so I'll just change the outfit. So those that are watching, if I would have walked in like this, the outfit would look way different.
Yes.
Way more, you would say, rigid.
Yes.
Not as relaxed. Not as powerful. It's amazing. Just one roll of the sleeves though. Let's get to work.
Yeah.
And let's get down to business. Let's talk about style.
Well, and even more of your arm.
That's right. Skin. Yeah. It's the most attractive thing that there is to the human eye.
Is that right?
Absolutely. It's why we're in love with human body. Nobody, if you look at skin, the more skin you can see in the human body, the more the eye craves it.
So, okay. Now you have me thinking about so many things. So, but cleavage, you know, we talked about that a little bit. Because I do think it could be somewhat distracting, right?
Sure can.
So I'm not saying if you have cleavage, you're a slut, right? 100%. But it's just distracting to the eye.
Sometimes.
So
depends on how you're using it.
Okay. So it just depends on the vibe or something.
Everything you know in life is all about context.
Yeah. Right.
Right? Okay. If we're on a nude beach, cleavage isn't distracting at all. Right. You see what I'm saying? It's all context.
Because everybody's
got it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
So it depends on how we're using it, what we're using it for in the brand or the persona of who you are.
Totally.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So So skin, all I'm telling you is a beautiful thing to the human eye.
Yes.
That's why, like it or not, nude pictures are very beautiful. Like you can see how much elegance and water with the body. There's just natural things that just grab our eye, regardless. That's just human dynamics. Okay. So now how we style ourselves, though, is the same way. There's certain things that are going to make a style more powerful, more fun, more exciting. So as I rolled this up, and all of a sudden
more,
I can...
It's more relaxed, too.
But yet more powerful, more trendy, like and playful, things like that happen. If I were to take this out and go just like this, all of a sudden it changes the whole image of the thing again. It's like, what? Are you kidding me right now?
Well, because that pop of color...
I want you up here. That's why my jewelry's up here. When I'm talking, I want you to feature me. I don't want you looking down here, and I don't want you to look right here.
When you had that on.
Exactly. Because this is going to bring your attention.
Or they look, more vibrant.
Yeah, it's going to bring your attention up. So instantly, I'm directing you.
Oh, that's amazing.
Where I want to direct you.
How crazy!
I'm also doing that with jewelry, right? Because a lot of people be like, "Oh my gosh, why does he have these rings? Why? What watch is he wearing today?"
And I instantly went into the tattoo.
Yeah,
my eye did
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's all intentional work for what you're trying to do. Also, sales go up 30% if you're wearing glasses. Studies prove that. So
30%.
Yeah, put those on. Do you see any?
30.
Yeah, 30%.
You're kidding me.
No, alter ego. Go read it. So can you see through those?
Yeah, I can.
Of course you can. Because there's no lens in there.
They're not prescription.
That's right.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? No, and you look different.
That's a $600 pair of glasses.
Wow. Do they look good on me?
Well,
I might need to get some.
You would need to get some. But I know the perfect frame for you.
I need to go up 30%.
I absolutely know the perfect frame for you.
Ryan needs me to close more deals around here.
Right? So exactly. If you understand the psychology of wealth, how are we taught? Are smart people wearing what?
Glasses.
Wow.
Yeah.
You learned that as a belief from when?
Yeah, that's true. When you're a kid.
That's right. Yeah. And the nerdy secretary, what does she wear?
Glasses.
Yeah. And the secretary, the really sexy secretary, what does she wear?
Glasses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? And where are we taught that from? A little freaking kid.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try this.
Isn't that
I'm going to
neat?
wear glasses and see. because I do sales calls still. And so I'm going to test this.
Do it.
Out and see.
Yeah, people can see you. Obviously, if you're behind the phone, they can't see you. That's a different story. But when you're presenting,
we do a Zoom call.
Perfect. This will be great.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, like I said, we want to feature certain things when we're on stage.
Okay.
We need to direct attention where we want attention.
Okay.
Right? Just like we do in a funnel.
Yeah.
Just like we do in everything else we do. Right? Because I dress, in my opinion, the largest funnel, which is Funnel Hacking Live, and the main character of it for everything. So I have to understand the background colors.
Okay.
I have to understand who he's speaking with. Because let's say Tony Robbins came in and spoke with Russell, because he does.
Yes.
What's Tony going to wear? Black. He always does.
Always wear black?
Always wears black, right? So it's almost a given. Like if Tony didn't wear black, everybody would be like, is it really Tony, right?
Yeah.
So I know that if I dress Russell in black, what's that going to do to him?
Well, then he wouldn't stand out,
Not at all. And he's going to look smaller because Tony's how big.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the main character because Tony's going to take the light.
Okay, I see.
So I have to understand that I either have to dress Russell in a totally different and very masculine, very dominant.
Yes.
Or I'm going to lose him.
Okay.
And I'm going to lose his authority because who can steal it? Tony can.
Yeah.
Because he's a big player. He's a big man. But see, if you don't think that through, all of a sudden you've spent all this money. You just invested in bringing this person in to take the show.
Yes.
Wow. Do you want to do that? Because I don't.
No.
Neither does Russell. So that's why he invests in me to make sure that that kind of stuff's thought through.
Gosh, you have to meet Ryan because you don't know Ryan Pineda,
I don't.
But you have to meet him because he speaks on stages and sells from stage. And
awesome.
We do 4 events a year.
So cool.
It's really cool. And he's known for his hair. Okay. So he does different color hair.
Oh, he does. Awesome.
On top.
So cool.
He'll do like hot pink,
good for him.
Green, blue.
He's made that part of his brand.
That's just part of his brand. But like, I'm really curious. So after we wrap here, up here, I'll introduce you. He's upstairs. But but okay, so let's go to day 2.
Okay. So day 2. So I don't go day 1, day 2, day 3 there, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to let you go day 2. But I'm going to let you. There is a system no matter what you're doing.
Okay.
So there's 4 core outfits that you have to have.
Outfits.
But there doesn't mean that you're going to wear The second one, day 2.
Okay.
So let's just say it that way.
Okay.
Okay. So the second outfit that we use at Funnel Hacking Live, just because of the way the sequence runs, or the way I'll run my event, for example, is we go right into teaching.
Okay. So that's
the event is structured as Rockstar.
Four core outfits.
Correct.
Rockstar, then teaching.
Yeah. We're going to go teaching number 2.
Teaching.
Yep. So, excuse me. We go into the teaching mode, which means that a teacher doesn't dress like a rock star.
Yeah, because they're not as distracting with their pieces.
They're there to do something, right? A teacher's there to do one thing.
Yeah,
for you to learn. If they're even a little disheveled, if they're a little weird, we don't care. They're a teacher.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what we need to do is several things to put into teacher's mode.
Okay.
So let's say that I was here and I was in this outfit and I was doing a perfect webinar right now with you. And you're like, Bart, will you teach us XYZ?
Yeah.
Instantly what you would see me do is I would take this coat off.
Okay.
And I would start to de-shovel a few things. I would pull some stuff off.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be in teacher's mode.
Okay.
And teachers, let's get to work.
Yeah.
We're not worried about as much of our appearance.
Okay.
We're worried about teaching you what you need to teach and what you want to learn.
Okay.
So there's teacher outfits. So you want to think about if, let's say, I'm teaching banking, the teachers who teach banking may style themselves a tiny bit different. So they may have a nice loafer on, they may have, but understand that they're not going to be in a 3-piece suit while they're in front of the school teaching that. Now, if I'm at kindergarten, I'm going to dress different than if I'm in college, high school. So understand your audience when I say this. Don't just go, oh, I'm just going to do whatever I want. What I'm saying is understand how they teach in that space.
Okay.
What does teachers look like in that space? Then let's put that on. So if you look in the funnel world or you look in the internet marketing world, how do most teachers dress? It's hoodies. It's really cool t-shirts.
Yeah.
It's more low key. So Russell goes off stage, instantly pulls the jacket. Yeah. Then we bring him back out into a teacher outfit. Good for you.
Oh my God. I wonder if I'm going to start to remember all of these things.
So good.
This is insane.
I'm loving this. Download you're getting.
Yeah. I'm like, this is wild.
Yeah. So he comes out and he starts to teach because we want him to be the expert in teaching.
Yes.
So we style him according to what he's doing in the environment. So if you're creating a course, an online course, a lot of people, that's the biggest mistake they ever make is they same outfit the entire time. Or they don't change, but they're like trying to be a teacher looking like they should be at home in the family with the sweats. It's like, look, you guys, there's a psychology of this. If you want your people to be engaged with you, you've got to look the part and play the role that you were created to do in your brand. Okay. So that's the teacher outfit. Okay. So the third outfit is your pitch outfit.
Okay. Now this is going to be important.
Yeah, it's very important that you understand your pitch outfit, right? And for women, this is really awesome to start to play with. Okay. Now, Russell, we always put him in the same pitch outfit and have for the last 5 years.
Okay, let me try to remember.
Yeah,
when he was
you may
pitching.
be able to remember this one.
I think he was in a t-shirt.
Nope.
No,
he's in a dress shirt.
He was,
and it's in a light blue dress shirt.
Light blue dress shirt. Okay.
Now the reason
did he wear a t-shirt at all?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, especially on last day.
Oh, last day.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So, so the reason we use light blue is because light blue is, if you do research on it, is really good for a male-female audience. Oh. It's not overboard in color for a male.
Yeah.
But it's not also too dominant for a female.
Wow, I love this. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So if he was to wear pink, who's he going to hit?
Females.
Right? And more attractive.
Yeah.
If I wear dominant black, what am I going to hit?
Males. Yeah.
Right? So you're trying to understand your audience well enough to say, as I'm pitching, I'm not so overbearing that a woman doesn't want to buy from me as a man. But I'm also manly enough that men know that I can do both.
I love it.
That's why light blue.
Okay. Light blue.
So you can go back and you guys can look at the styles. Like I'm sure all of you guys are going to be breaking. Russell, you're welcome for all the traffic.
I
They're all going to be looking at all your outfits.
Yeah, for real.
So anyway, there's a psychology behind the pitch outfit. Okay. Then we do a few other things that while Russell's talking, does Russell ever not use his hands? No, he's a machine with his hands, right? So we need to make sure that we're featuring and keeping the features where we're at. But we also want some really fun shoes that are really sharp because the audience of his, if you look at Russell's audience, the things that they all know that we style him in, shoes and watches are two big things. So they're all looking for that kind of stuff. Okay. So So that's that outfit. So now you've got 3 outfits that we've talked about. We've got the pitch outfit, we've got the teaching outfit, we've got the rock star outfit. Then we have what we call the family outfit, or you can call it whatever you want. But it's when everybody's bought and they're in your ecosystem.
Yeah.
Then you can pull your hair down.
Okay.
Be a little more relaxed. Because at home, are you a little more relaxed?
And then if you buy, you get a t-shirt.
Totally.
So.
Right?
Yeah.
So you might as well be and have fun. And then what does Russell do? He always throws a party at the very end. Right? So if you're going to go to the party, you want to be able to be relaxed and have fun, right?
I went. Totally. I bought and I got my t-shirt and I went to the party.
Game on, girl. So there you go. You followed the process.
I did.
And it was all systematically designed for you to do that.
Wow.
Okay. From the time you walked in the door. So Russell changed outfits in that event 12 times.
Wow. 12 times.
Right? And people are like, are you kidding me right now? But the answer is no. I'm not, because we intentionally understand what we're doing and what we want to do to help people feel confident and comfortable through the system. Now, I'm not going to take credit for the entire event. Let's be clear. I mean, there's way
really
more.
Phenomenal event. That was my first one.
Like
and I was just blown away.
If he's on stage with Steven Larson, we have to make sure we look, and if he's going to do pictures, like all those things are things I'm thinking through. Everything else is the rest of the team. Let's be clear. But that's my piece of the puzzle. Yeah. And so then once I'm in the audience, my stress level just goes through the roof, because it's like, did we hit or did we not? You know, like, because.
Let's talk about that for a minute. Because how many of these have you styled for him? How many events? 6 events. Okay.
Well, 6 Funnel Hacking Lives.
Okay, perfect. So let's use that.
So that's the main event.
Yeah. And
I mean, I've helped him at Grant Cardone's stage. I've helped him on other, but I mean, his main event that we went all the way through an architect. Is 6.
So is there can you speak to the numbers on like, okay, let's talk about just pitch outfits. Yeah. So which one was the most successful?
We've always used the same one.
Oh, it's always been the same one. That's right. The light blue dress.
Yeah.
Sure. What about, I'm trying to see like where you identify if one thing worked better than another.
Yeah. So where you identify it is how many texts Bart gets as soon as he walks out on stage. No. Also, it's for sure my phone. It's like my heart.
Yeah.
But what I want you to think about is what are the outfits people talk about? So when he walks out, where does the media go? Where does everybody go? And how much press did he get? And how much does it look like? So also I know the number one photo, which I don't know if you realize this, but it's very critical to understand this, especially if you have an online business. The number one photo Russell's in is all the 2 Comma Club award photos.
Right. Okay.
Because he's in every photo. And where does that photo go? As soon as it's taken.
I mean, online, they post it.
Post it. And then where does it go from there? It's printed out.
Yeah.
Where does it go? It never stops. That is the one photo that gets more photos than the Rockstar outfit.
Right. Okay.
So that photo has to be awesomeness.
Yeah.
So that's the other critical outfit. So if you have a photo ops, you have to understand that you're going to have people showing up and you don't even know what to get their photo taken with you.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you're very put together, but not over the top.
Oh.
Because there's so much going on. And you've got the colors of your award.
Yeah.
So your award photos, they're your biggest, think about social photo that there is ever going to be of you. Because they're published everywhere and people are so proud of them.
Yeah.
And they should be.
Right.
But they're going to put your face everywhere and they're going to keep that photo forever.
So you try to keep him more neutral?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. If you go look at all those photos, very neutral, but he stands out. No one's outdressing him.
Right.
But we're not making him over the top.
Yes.
Because we need the photo to be important.
Yes.
We want you to be the feature of the photo. At the same time, know that you're there with Russell and Todd.
Yeah. Well, and I love how they do that too, where it's, if you buy, which I didn't actually end up doing this because of the timing of when I purchased, but you get in line to get your photo taken,
yeah. They also do that.
So that you're seeing
That's true.
your future
Amen.
self.
So good,
putting on your cape, if you will.
Yep.
So that you can step into your new identity.
Totally.
And I think that's so brilliant.
So good.
To tie it all together. Because you can make a purchase, right?
Yeah.
And people do this all the time. They buy, but then they just still don't do anything.
Amen.
And so the way that he positions that for them is, hey, you're making this investment, but you're also going to have this photo and step into the new you. Yeah. And I love that.
Yeah.
So,
and that's also why you should be in my other business, not this one, if you're not getting shit done.
Okay. Well, we need to talk about your events. So we talked about the 4 looks.
Yeah. We got all 4 looks.
Just because, I mean, I could talk to you probably for 5 days.
We could. And I would love it.
There's so much, you know?
Yeah.
But these events that you do, is this transformational healing work? Is this like life coaching? What is this?
Great question. So in transformational healing work, I've done lots of that because of different things. Yeah. But I don't coach on it, but I coach on it.
Oh,
this is what I mean
feel
by
like
that.
you would totally coach on that. You only said a few things to me and I'm like, I'd listen to everything.
Thank you. You're so nice. So what happens is my high ticket offer is basically I coach a lot of the internet marketers in the space.
Okay.
On how I did my $10 million funnel, how I've done my multiple $2 million funnels, and how I've also marketed in the brick and mortar world. So I have a really diverse marketing background. But what I find is when people buy my high ticket offer, they want to make more money. But the first thing we work on is their mindset. Once we unlock the mind, here's what I find with most people. They don't need more information. They need more implementation.
Oh my God, we were just talking about this.
Yeah. So they buy all these programs and then they sit on the shelf. They do all these things. So myself, the one thing, if you ever have me on a stage speaking, which I'm just going to take it over right now. So if I were on the stage right now, the number one question that I would ask is, if I ask you to bake brownies from scratch, no recipe, no nothing, could you do it? And I guarantee you that maybe yourself or your audience, some people are going to think, yes, I could totally do it. I'm like, you rock.
Yeah.
But if I asked the same question and I said, could you bake brownies with a recipe? If I gave you the recipe, could you bake brownies? 99% of the audience is going to say, yes. Yeah. Then I'm going to ask them this question. Does the recipe care if you're a woman?
No.
Does it care if you're a man?
No.
Does it care if you're Hispanic?
No.
Does it care if you're white? Does it care if you're poor?
No.
Does it care if you're rich?
No.
The recipe cares about one thing. You follow it.
Right.
So in life, I only try to find who has the recipe. Life is very simple. Life is a recipe.
Yeah.
And whoever's recipe you follow is the shit you're going to get out.
Totally. Yeah.
If you want to bake brownies, come see me. If you want to bake a cake, I'm not your guy.
Right.
I didn't say I was baking a cake. And you can't try to bake a cake and make it into brownies. Doesn't work. But a lot of people try.
Sure.
Because it's similar, right?
Yeah.
Goes in an oven, has these things in it. It's the same thing. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So when I decided to become a bodybuilder and I wanted to win a sword and an overall in 1 year, I went and hired the number one coach. I did everything he told me, followed the recipe.
Yeah.
And what did I walk out with? The sword.
Right. Yeah.
See, we overcomplicate life because we're not willing to go find the recipe and follow it.
Yeah. And
why
do you think people aren't willing?
It's not that they're not willing. I don't think that they understand how simple life can be. They overcomplicated themselves. So when they buy a program, there's nothing there that, so I'll tell you the truth. This is why I've created. So I have a program called I Do Epic. That's my very beginning program. I Do Epic. If you go to idoepic.com, you'll find the program. And it's a networking and accountability call. Now, when you say the word accountability, you're like, I don't need accountability. This is, but reality is everybody needs accountability. I don't care who you are. And so what happens is that when you get on there, I don't let you on the call until you've gone through my workbook.
I love that.
Because the workbook makes you figure out your why.
Yes.
And people are like, well, I know my why. You don't.
You don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Reality is you really don't know your why. And so once you understand your why, and that's why Navy SEALs, like everybody goes, oh, they're so amazing looking human. They are. I mean, those guys look like Rocky walking out of the movie, man. They're awesome, right? They're buff. They're all these things. But do you know why they send them through buds? Isn't because of how strong they are in their body. It's how strong they are in their mind. That's right. Because if they're ever captured and this body gets depleted,
they have to be.
Oh man, if you're not mentally strong, you're going to vomit everything out.
Right.
You're going to quit. You're going to give up all that critical information. So there's more time spent on the mind than there is anything else to make you quit.
Yeah.
But if you can get so strong here, will you quit? No. You always know your why. Yeah. So I help people understand their why first. Then they understand why they bought the program.
Sure. Which is critical, or otherwise they will not succeed.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So understand your why, understand why you bought the program. Then I'm going to help you architect your life by design instead of have your life architected for you.
Yes.
Through all your planning. And then every day when you get on a call, it's a 10-minute call. I know it sounds crazy. 10 people on the call. And it's going to be, did you get your stuff done today? Right. Yes. Did you not? Okay. What you going to do today? This. Sure. And then the group of CEOs that are with you that are like-minded, they get to hear your why every day for how long? For as long as you're on the call. When you say that in front of everybody, it manifests into and you say you're going to get your stuff done. Yeah. Boom. So
that's so good. I did a thing, emotional intelligence training.
Awesome.
And that's where I learned similar concept. You say what you're going to do.
Amen.
You say why you're going to do it.
Amen.
And by when are you going to do it? Yep. And then you also have I guess you could say it's similar to a why, but it's an I am statement about yourself.
Totally.
And they make you say it, but say it like you mean it.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't say it with conviction,
you nailed it.
Then it doesn't I guess go into the subconscious, right?
Yep.
And so they also had you identify where I guess the limiting belief about yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So for instance, mine was that I was fearful and I felt weak. And so then my new statement was, I am powerful and I am courageous.
Awesome.
So you're trying to, I guess, put on a new cape.
That's right. New persona.
New persona. Yeah. But it was super powerful.
Good for you.
And so I think that this absolutely, I believe in it.
Yeah.
100%. So that is kind of life coaching though.
It is.
It is.
So, but in knowing that, what they really want though from me, let's be clear, the reason they come in is
marketing.
Yeah, they want marketing because I'm really smart.
The
reality is they do. They want that. But
you have to prime them, right?
Yeah.
You can't, if you take them there without the mindset, then it doesn't work.
Amen. They go back to the same thing.
I feel that way about social media.
Yeah.
The best personal brands and, social, Instagram presence, okay, let's just say, is the most self-aware person.
Amen.
Because they know who they are and they know why they're showing up online.
Would you agree self-aware and certainty?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, because of course you said it in the beginning, you're going to be judged no matter what.
It's a fact.
No matter what. So
Amen.
You have to just know the reason why. For me, my reason why is that if I can help one person just believe in who they were designed to be and their unique gifts, because it's there's only one you.
Amen.
So why would you question for one moment that you're not good enough?
Amen.
Or that you have competition because you don't.
Amen.
So I love that. And that's why I do what I do. But
so good.
This is such a good podcast. Okay. I have just a couple more questions and we'll wrap it up because I want to be respectful of your time. But you mentioned Marilyn Monroe. Okay. Of say, the most iconic movies, who would you say is the best with their style and most aligned with the character they play?
Wow. So that's a great question. And I have not thought that through. So I don't know that I can give you a great answer on that. But I will say the characters and the movies I use are Spider-Man, Batman, all those coming because. Do
you work with a lot of men?
I do actually. But what's interesting is I've styled just as many women as I have men. So how do I say this? So the answer is women are really, really, really difficult. Men are very straightforward in their style, most of them.
Well, because women are more emotional and men are more logical.
Very true.
So that kind of makes sense.
And you have to work through, with women, they're so self-conscious of their weight.
Yes.
And of their, just so many things. And so for me, when I can sit down with a woman and really get into her psyche, we can make leap years of progress.
Oh, that's good.
So it takes me more time with them to break down limiting beliefs.
Okay.
So for example, if I took you out today and styled you, I may put you in things that would make you feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, Kate.
Actually, let's answer that question. Yeah. What would you put me in? If you kind of know me a little bit now.
Yeah, I don't, but I do. So I'm going to answer the first, then I'll come back to that. So I use Spider-Man and different things like that because it's a very good example of saying, here's somebody that stepped into their power, but they don't have to be this 24 hours a day.
Okay,
and that is critical thinking when you're building a brand or you're building yourself as a human.
Yes.
You don't have to be you all the time.
Yes. That's good.
Allow yourself to be that. So as you dress, as you style, if you looked at Spider-Man, you'd laugh your ass off. If you didn't know the movie and you walked out and you saw it, you'd be like, oh, that's it. The guy's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I call that the Halloween moment. Be okay to be laughed at the very first time.
Yeah.
You try something new if it comes from an expert helping you with that. Because if you don't, you're going to just go back to your old self and throw that away. And you're going to waste your time.
Yep.
Okay. So a couple fun things that I would try with you that I think would be a lot of fun. One is I would love to take your hair when you're selling. I would want to put glasses on you. I would want to put a piece of color in your hair. And I would probably put a jacket on you with some sort of color that would tie to your hair. And then if they could see your shoes, I'd probably put you in a low profile, really cool, like Gucci shoe. I would take the laces out and I would put a piece of the ribbon through there to tie all the color through and just see what it did. See how it looked on camera, have some fun, maybe put a little smaller earring in so our features would be with your face. You've got a great eye. So the way you do your makeup, we would enhance your eyes, really bring them out because they're gorgeous. And then that's where I would start.
So hair back more.
Probably I would take your hair back. You've got beautiful hair. See the
face
I just want to really see how your features and how your face is there because, a picture's worth 1,000 words.
So
body language is everything.
Yes.
And so the confidence that you have, if we brought that confidence out more by bringing that back, and then like we're talking today, it's more fun for you to have it there and have that free and fun feel to it. But when it's in the serious, more fun stuff, I'd love you to be able to pull it back. But the reason the pop of color is I wanted to architect with you in your design. So it's
interesting because, when I do pull up my hair or pull it back, I do feel that it's well received.
Good.
So
what does it do to you? How do you feel? I mean, do you feel more powerful? Do you feel the same? What does it do to you?
I think I might feel more powerful, actually.
Cool. Yeah.
Because this is more relaxed.
Yeah.
But I also do feel that I have good hair.
You have great hair.
So then it's like I want to show my hair, and to me, showing it down, you can see that.
It's really pretty. Yeah.
But I do think that there is something about really revealing more of your face.
So here's the thing I want you to think about with your hair. Would you work out with your hair down?
No.
Okay. Would you wash dishes with your hair down?
Yeah.
Okay. So think about things that.
But I would have to pull it back, I guess, a bit. Yeah.
Sometimes, right? So that's why I said long hair.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is most women with long hair, when they're in work mode, what do they need to do?
Pull their hair back.
Pull their hair back.
Yeah.
Because when they're at the gym, when they're doing this, when they're doing that. So what have we anchored to humans that women do when it's time to get to work?
Just pull their hair back. Yeah. So that's just going to be sending that message of
the psychology of
she's ready to go.
I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm on your team, but I'm serious about this right now.
That's good.
Because I'm in serious mode.
Yes.
Right. I'm not in. Now, I could get off on a really far left wing, right thing, like crazy because there's feminine energy.
I know.
And there's masculine energy.
We didn't even get into that.
And for women, they live in a masculine world. So they dominantly want to stay in a masculine role when they get home. And so some of that, we need to change when you get home and put your feminine energy. And one of those things to do that is bring your hair down.
Okay.
Just be able to chow. Because feminine energy is creation energy.
Right.
It's not go energy.
Okay.
So if we ever get into that topic, that is one of the fun things that, women need to be aware of is how to switch that energy.
I've become very aware of this recently. And this has been a discussion around this office actually about, we have a lot of single women here and so we're like, why do we have all these single women? And why, can't we find the right guy, right?
Yeah.
And so the argument is we're too in the masculine energy, right?
Probably.
And so, and I think that is true. I think it's true, right?
Sure.
But when you have to be,
amen,
then you do because it's survival, right?
100%.
So, but that's to your point of when you get home, that you should be able to step into.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So can I give you a crazy example?
Yeah.
Hopefully this isn't too inappropriate, but
no.
I was at a cool Tony Robbins event, right?
Yeah.
And he said this and I was like, are you kidding me? This is so good. He said, if you don't have a stripper name, you're not having good sex.
Oh, Is that right?
And I was like, what?
A
I want to have great
stripper
sex.
name. Yeah.
Because what it does, it allows you
to be a different persona.
Right. Like what stripper?
So
if I went to a strip club today, would she give me her real name? Of course not. She's there acting as if XYZ. So she's going to have a great time. So I went home to my wife and I'm like, you need to figure out a stripper name tonight. And I'm going to figure out one tonight. And we're going to meet.
And you're going to be
game
wild.
On. Like this is going to get crazy.
So wait, what are your stripper names?
Ooh,
or are they secret?
Secret names.
Okay. So, but how did you come up with them?
How did we come up with them?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Listen to you. Good question. Reality is we both just started thinking of like, I think at first it was like, man, I think they're hot and I think this is hot and this kind of stuff, you know? So like, I would want to be them. I don't want to, this, that, and the other. So kind of combinations of that. But that being,
you might need a workbook on that.
100%. I think we could do really well.
I think so too.
How to find your stripper name persona,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
So it's so
what to wear in the bedroom?
Totally. Yeah. Nothing.
Oh my God.
But how fun is that? Like it was like that moment of like, and that's really when I first started to get into the changing personas, is because we had so much fun. It was so like Halloween it once really again.
Worked. Yeah.
Of course. Because it wasn't about like, it was just a blast to do whatever the heck you want.
You remove your ego, right? It's like it's just totally gone.
100%.
Yeah. So you're just like free.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so this is an interesting thing to think about. Do you know when you're the most alive in life?
Yeah. Well, I believe that you're most alive when you're a child.
Okay, good.
And this is why I love like 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the most beautiful age because they are so free.
Fun, huh? Yeah, so free.
And so themselves.
Yeah.
And like very creative.
So good.
So that's what I think. And then I guess the other time you would be most alive is when I think you're doing something you love.
Cool. So I'm going to give you one that I think is the ultimate pinnacle when you're the most alive. It's when you're about to die.
Really?
Yeah, think about that. If I put a bungee cord on your feet right now, I was going to throw you off. How alive are you going to be?
So it's the adrenaline.
It's everything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. Because if I told you today, you got 1 week, she's over.
Right.
The world's at end. What are you going to do?
You're going to live.
Oh man. Are you going to be alive? Every moment. Are you looking at every second? Are you going to smell everything?
This is like, I'm starting to feel an emotion right now because I literally just did a post on this.
Did you?
My dad, yesterday, it's 5 years since he died.
Wow.
And I wrote about that.
So awesome.
When he died, that made me start living.
Good.
It's just been insane.
So awesome. I'm so proud of you. But that's what all of us need to realize. Is we're never more alive until the time we're about to die. Or a loved one dies and we go, damn, I would have lived.
Like, I'm like, why do we wait until a tragedy to do that?
Totally.
That's what it made me think, like, don't wait.
Amen. Don't wait. And say things that you would say.
Right.
And so on that story, can I share one other quick story?
Oh my gosh,
because I got so many and I don't want to take your time. I want to be respectful, but I'll never forget this. Maybe this will help your audience. And I know it's not totally on branding, but I was racing bikes, very extreme racing bikes, pedal bikes, road bikes. I had a really dear friend.
You just love to live on the edge. Yeah. You do it all. I love it.
So you can go to Cycling Strong. That's my brand on that. But anyways, back when I was racing bikes, I had this really dear friend. And we would get together on Fridays sometimes and ride. But the problem with us riding on Fridays is our egos and our masculinity went through the roof, so we'd kill each other. Like we'd ride so hard, we were dead. So when we'd show up on Saturday, it was no fun because we couldn't ride with the other guys and beat them because we were so tired.
Right.
So we had an underwritten rule that we wouldn't ride together on Fridays. Okay. Because it was just kind of that thing.
Yeah.
So 5 years basically had gone by. And of me riding bikes and with this gentleman named Shane. And so I was driving down the road. And I'll never forget this moment. It was like, text Shane and tell him you want to ride today. And I was like, we don't ride on Fridays.
Yeah. But you felt
just like crazy. Yeah, total download. Exactly. And I was like, no, we don't ride on Fridays. And I said, text Shane and tell him you want to ride today. And I was like, okay, boom. Grab my phone.
Yes.
Stopped over, Shane, just want you to no, want to ride. Didn't hear anything back. Go out with a dinner with my buddy that night and Rob. And he goes, did you hear about Shane today? And I said, no. Everybody, he committed suicide. Exactly. Right. And I went, what? He goes, and your text was his last text. And I was like, thank you for that. At least him knowing, right? So from that day forward, and I say this every Friday. So today's Friday. So I think it's important your dad wants to hear this and you want to hear this is I send 5 gratitude texts regardless on every Friday because of that moment, because that was Shane's day. You're going to make me cry. Good. So if you're listening to this today, send 5 texts of gratitude. It doesn't matter if they're wealthy. It doesn't matter if they're poor. If somebody pops in your head,
send it.
Just send it and just tell them how awesome they are. Because what would that do for you? So
I have to share this part of the story now because we're very aligned, it seems, with our energy. Yeah. So I didn't talk to my dad for 2 years. We got in a fight. Mm-hmm. Stupid fight, family fight. Yep. And we weren't speaking for 2 years, the hardest 2 years of my life, but also that's where I grew spiritually. Mm-hmm. And through that process, I read a lot of books, did a lot of work, and I learned that I needed to forgive and just love my dad as a person and not have an expectation of him that's up here because he's my dad.
Amen.
And so one day, it was March 9th, 2019, I got a download. And it was the craziest thing. I woke up in the morning, I was like 3:30 a.m. And it felt like I had to go see my dad. I had to go see him right then. I didn't even know where he lived because he moved. I had to find out where he lived and go see him. And I had to take all the books that I read and bring them with me and then just tell him that I love him. And no matter what he said to me, it didn't matter. Yeah. That's all I needed to do. So I took all my books, went to his house. And my brother let me in and I went and I was in the living room and he came out and he hugged me for the longest time and told me that he loved me. And then we spent the day together. I gave him all my books and I said, Dad, I've been reading these books. And he said, I've read every book that's in your hand.
So awesome.
And then that was the last day I saw him.
Really?
And then he died. Yeah. He had a heart attack at 57 and he was just gone. But if I didn't go.
What a miracle.
Yeah. And so it was like the same thing, like go see your dad right now.
Yeah. I'm so proud of you. If you weren't over there, I'd have to be hugging you right now. So.
I know. But how do you explain these things? You can't.
I don't think we can, and I don't think we need to. Yeah. I think it's when we have the download.
You just have to trust it.
That's right. Yeah. Action.
Right.
That's it. There's no thinking. Yeah. Just take action. And you did that and a miracle happened. And I did that and a miracle could happen. So somebody listening to this podcast, I know right now, is going to have a miracle happen for them.
And that's the beautiful thing. That's, again, why I love for people to share online. Because it's not like, I hate it when people say it's like a toxic place or, it's all about you because it's not.
Amen.
It's you sharing and touching the lives of others
100%.
Because you can reach so many people.
Agreed.
So, man, I feel really grateful that you're in this chair right now.
Vice versa.
Such a
I feel like I'm as my best friend. I feel like I've known you forever.
I know. That's how I feel. Yeah. And it's just, and this was also random, right? Because I did the podcast with Macy.
Yeah.
And I think it all started with Russell, if we trace it back. Yeah. I think she saw me from when Russell was here.
Oh, awesome.
And this is how it all went down,
so cool.
But man, so meant to be. I would love to know more about your events and attend one because you're
Well, we have one in 3 weeks and you're welcome to come.
Oh, it's in 3 weeks?
It's like in 3 weeks. It's in the middle of Idaho. So it's an easy drive for you or flight.
Yeah.
And when you get there, it's all going to be Western. So it's a Yellowstone themed. It's all on property.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. We go out and ride horses.
You ride horses?
We have a full horse example. We go out and feed.
I'm allergic to horses, but
that's okay. You don't have to do that.
Event without a horse?
Well, you don't have to attend that part.
Oh, okay.
And if you do attend, what's cool is we do have another person that's allergic. Yeah. They sit out because it's all, you get to watch how the horses actually work with humans.
Oh, I love this. I've seen this on TV.
Yeah. So it's a psychology of how to use animals to teach leadership. And so we do that while we're there. And it's just the coolest event because what's so fun about it is it's a totally immersion event. There's a natural hot spring. So we all do that.
Oh my gosh.
There's beer
so
and
cool.
pizza up above. So we all got to go have fun and just chill.
Yeah.
And so it's a very low key, but it's a very total immersion event. Fun, all internet marketing based.
Yeah.
My background is building online schools.
I love
and all that kind of stuff. So we bring people in on that, and it just is a blast. It's like the highlight of my year every year.
So where
fun.
does somebody go to learn about the event?
IDoEpicLive.com.
IDoEpicLive.com. Okay. And the next one starts, what's the date of the next one?
So it will be this month on the 24th, 25th, 26th, I want to say.
Okay. So May 24th.
So this might not even be out.
Okay. Oh, no. Well, we'll make sure. I'll make sure it gets out so that we can promote it. But yeah, wow. So okay, back to the question real quick as we wrap up on the movies. I was thinking about one of my favorite movies, which is, and I feel like it's very on brand with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Legally Blonde.
Awesome.
Because she had to step into a new persona, right? And what I love about that movie is we've all seen like the geek, right, with the glow up. Yeah. But that one, it's almost like the opposite, right? And I think that it's just great to see a different perspective and to know that, and you said this in the beginning, you know, it doesn't matter if you're the one that's dressed up or dressed down. Everyone's going to be judging. And so really the main point of it all is just the energy and to be who you are. Amen. And so I guess we can just end on that. And I just like, what a gift you are to the world. This is
Vice
so
versa,
cool.
So you. Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Yeah.